Hey guys, it's Jill and Averi from Moon Gap Acres. Today we're going to walk you through a really simple recipe for canned pickles. So I had a video previously, it was on refrigerator pickles, but these are pickles that you can. So we're going to walk through it. We have a ton of cucumbers in the garden, sorry Averi, of the pickling variety. And we have probably more than the average family, so we're just going to walk you through a recipe using about 3 pounds of these. So we have those, and this is going to be 2 parts. We have a pickling recipe that takes about 24 hours to brine, and then we'll can them the next day. So we have water. We need 6 cups. How many 6, Averi? We have six cups of lukewarm water. This is going to start our brine, and we have a metal bowl here to mix everything in. Ready?
And what's next?
No. So 6 cups lukewarm water, and then we have some salt. You can use pickling salt or a kosher salt. Don't use the iodized salt. Definitely choose one of those. I have a kosher salt here, and it's 1/4 cup. So we're going to put that in our brine. Averi, you want to get a spoon so we can stir it up? Okay. So then we also have some herbs. We have dill, we have the flower heads of the dill. So whatever dill you can get, make sure you get that. We picked this fresh today, so we're going to be adding that to our mix. We also have peppercorn. A peppercorn mix has different colors of peppercorn. And we have dill seed and yellow mustard. So that's what we're going to use in our brine. We're just going to add a little bit of each. Averi's stirring it right now.
Mama, don't we need dill?
Yep, we have those in here. So we're going to start adding everything to the brine.
I want to add.
All right, so just shake those in there, see if they come out. Sometimes we have a hard time coming out of that hole. Try the other side, but then we'll have to be careful with it so we don't put too many in. Just a light shake. Oh, that's good. That's good. You probably won't be able to see everything we're doing here, but we have a good amount of peppercorn in there. Next, we're going to use some dill seed. And really, it's whatever you have. You may want to put fennel in this, some other different things. Just shake a little bit in there. Yeah, you can take a pinch. That'll work. A little bit more. While Averi is adding the dill seed, we also have yellow mustard seed.
I'm not going to let you have all the fun.
She's not going to let me have all the fun. So Averi's going to add the yellow mustard seed. Good job. Probably a little more. Let's put a little bit more of that flavor in there. It's really good. All right. And then we haven't really cut it up or anything. We just have the dill heads and the flowering heads off of our dill. And we have just some sprigs of dill we're going to put in there to give it lots of flavor. And a little bit more.
Let's make all the flavors.
It's going to be good. Okay. We have quite a bit in there. I'm going to put a little bit more of the heads in there. Averi knows. She helped me pick all of this. Okay, so that's our brine. We're gonna let that sit for a minute and we're gonna start cutting up our cucumbers. We're gonna do spears today, but you can do like a pickle chip or something like that. I can help with that. So make sure before you start, clean the cucumbers really well, scrub them, get off any extra, the spines, anything like that. So we're gonna go ahead and cut them and get started with that. Some of ours are a little bit big, so we may not be able to just quarter them. We're gonna cut through there. How are you doing, Avery?
Good.
Good job. So here's a pickle spear, and we're gonna keep cutting and get this together and put it in the brine, and we'll be right back.
Oh, wow.
Hey guys, it's Jill from Moon Gap Acres, and I have Avery here. This is part 2. This is the next day, and we are going to finish up our pickles that we're going to can today. So I'm going to walk you through everything that we have in front of us, and then we will get to work. Okay, so we are all set up for canning. We have garlic. I think I've said we love garlic in this house. We have our canning rings and our lids. And we have our cucumbers from last night that were in the brine. And so what we've done is we have drained them and we have reserved 3 cups of the brine. And then we kept all of our spices, our aromatics, dill and mustard seed and peppercorn for putting back in the jars when we can them. And then over on the stove, we have our jars heating up. And we're ready to start our mix for tonight, which is going to be 3 cups of the brine that we drained off of the cucumbers, and then 3 cups of white vinegar. Okay, so we are back. We have our brine and vinegar heating up on the stove, and we have our jars ready. So I know you can't probably see everything perfectly, but we're going to try to show you as we go through it. And Avery and I are going to fill the jars with our spears that we cut from last night, and some garlic and some of the herbs and spices and things that we have reserved from the brine. So, are you doing what I'm doing? Okay, so we'll get started with that. So we have our spears. We'll be loading up some of these jars. They're a quart-sized jar. Okay. And you want to pack them pretty full, and we'll put some of the dill in it, some of the dill sprigs that we have. So we'll stick that in there. And we also have some garlic. So we have our garlic cloves ready. I mashed them just a little bit to intensify the flavor some.
What are those for?
Just to put in with your, we're going to put 2 per jar. Just fill these up and kind of see what it looks like so far. The peppercorn and some of the mustard seed from the bottom. Our little bowl here. Just gonna load those.
Nice.
Full. I think we're gonna be able to do one more. I thought we could do about 3 jars with our 3 pounds of cucumbers from last night. So we've got,
dice it or
just put it in there like that, just whole. And so there's 1 jar with some dill and garlic and mustard seed and peppercorn.
I think I have more pickles going.
We do. We actually, after our video last night, we did some of the pickle chips too. So we'll probably, after this, we'll finish those up as well and can them.
Hey, we don't even see me. Get on this side.
Okay, are you putting dill in yours, Avery? Put some dill in there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Garlic. Okay. So again, that's what our jar looks like right now. Avery's jar looks pretty good. And we're going to use our brine and vinegar mix and top those off. And we'll leave, we'll just come up a little bit right under the rim to give it some space.
And we'll use this funnel.
And we'll use that funnel. And we'll pour it in, and then we'll wipe off the rim and put our lid on and our ring. So we'll do that now. I will do that because it's hot. It's going to be pretty hot. Our jars also were warmed up. I think we mentioned that earlier. So you want to make sure you're not putting this into cold jar. So I am filling up Avery's jar. Let's turn off the back a little bit.
I put a funnel for.
Okay, put in the other one. We might run out. We'll have to fit it all in. 2 jars maybe. Okay, I think we are good.
That's like really spicy dill.
Avery says it smells like spicy dill.
That's because I smoked the smoke.
The steam was coming off, so you do need to be careful with that when you're pouring from that hot container into the jars. So now we're going to put our lids on and our rings, and then we'll put them in the water bath. So we have some water. It's warm, but once we put the jars in, we're going to need to heat that up to boiling. Once it's boiling, you'll need 10 minutes. 10 minutes to water bath canning, and then we'll pull them out after that, and they'll be done. So we'll get going on that, and we'll try to videotape some of that process. All right, we are ready to put these jars in. So we have our little canning tool that helps us lift them without burning ourselves. We're going to put this in the water. Okay, 1 in. We were able to fill
2 to go.
3 of these jars. Pretty good size. When you put your jars in, you'll just want to make sure that the water covers them completely so that they can can properly. Okay, last one. Okay, so we're going to bring that water to a boil and then can for 10 minutes. And we'll let you know how they turn out.
Well, we went out in the garden the other day, and we got this. It's a huge cucumber. It looks like a smelling face.
Have you ever seen anything like this? That is one huge cucumber. We're just having some fun while we're waiting for our pickles to can.
Looks like a giant hot dog, just green.
What?
Looks like a giant hot dog, just green.
Giant hot dog. Just green. Okay, we just finished our batch of pickles. They just came out of the canner. And earlier, while the camera was off, Avery and I went ahead and canned all of the pickle chips as well. So we ended up with 6 full jars here of pickles. And what we're going to do is at least wait a week before we open one of the jars and sample them. But in the meantime, we'll probably keep some refrigerator pickles on hand. Thank you so much for spending some time with us and learning about how we can our cucumbers and turn them into pickles here at Moon Gap Acres. Thank you all so much. Bye.